So, the Nintendo Switch 2 has been out for a couple months now, and I want to discuss what my experiences were, what I've been playing, and whether it has exceeded my expectations or not. Hello and welcome to Controller Fans. So first of all, as you can see, I'm a big fan of handhelds. I've got a couple here on the table. And my expectations for the Switch 2 were quite high. If you compare to the Switch 1, there is something that annoyed me from the start. If you get a Switch console from someone that has been in the dock the whole time and they never play handheld mode, it feels new. You know this feeling? It feels like one whole device. But if you pick one of my Switches that I have been playing for hours and mainly in handheld mode, you get this Joy-Con wobble. Maybe you can hear it on the mic. Now this wobble you get because the Joy-Con get looser. While you are playing, you get the feeling that the Joy-Con might slide off. And this was my main concern and my hope that this would be prevented with the new Joy-Con attachment system. They attach via magnets. Rather easy. The way it works is there are magnets in the console itself, and the SL and SR buttons, which are a lot nicer by the way compared to the Switch 1 SL and SR buttons. The SL and SR buttons are the metal plates that connect to the magnets in the console, and the Joy-Con talks to the Switch using this little connector here. Many people were afraid that this mechanism would break easily. So far I've just been throwing them on there. You hold them next to the Switch and they attach. It's just like that. I just let it fall and it attaches. And it has not failed on me yet. I have not seen it fail on people. And if you look at Welcome Tour, they explain how this mechanism works and what type of fail-safes are in place in order to make sure these connectors don't break. Then, the new kickstand, I was afraid it would be a bit flimsy because it's not one metal plate anymore, but I'm happy to be wrong. Just the device as a whole feels more premium. It feels less like a toy and more like an adult gaming console. And that's all I wanted from the Switch 2, for it to be the adult Switch. So as you can see, I have the Switch OLED here as well. And another concern I had was going back to LCD. What you see here is only one OLED display, and that's the Switch OLED, because my Steam Deck is actually an LCD. I don't really like the display of the LCD Steam Deck. It has a lot of light bleeding, which you can see here. But going back from this gorgeous display to an LCD display had me a bit worried. But every time I pick up the Switch 2, I still have this, oh, wow, it's nice. It's hard to describe. The contrast is less visible, but the colors are very vibrant. So I do miss the nice blacks, but overall I would still prefer this display. The size is a lot nicer, while the Switch 2 actually, if you hold it, it doesn't feel that much bigger. And going from 720p to 1080p has been something that I like a lot. Except for in some Switch games. The problem is that the game renders in 720p or even lower, depending on how they optimize the game for the Switch 1, which results in a blurry mess sometimes. Persona 5, I will be playing on the Switch OLED. My Switch OLED is now my Persona 5 machine. The Switch 2 is a bit bigger, and so far, while holding it, I was worried the device being bigger around the Steam Deck size. With a Steam Deck I get tired. My hands start to cramp up while I play, especially when you're lying in bed all lazy like this. I do that. My hands start to cramp up. And with the Switch 1, if I played for way too many hours on a day, I would also get cramps around here. But I'm happy to say that I don't know what they did, but it's exactly the right fit for my hands. I did not cramp up once. So overall, I'm very happy with the build quality. I'm very happy with the size, but not everything about the Switch 2 has been positive. I already mentioned HDR and the weird finicky settings with bad examples that just don't work in my opinion. One tip from my side, if you try to turn on HDR, lower your brightness. This will probably make the picture look better or at least acceptable, but maybe just turn it off. At least do compatible software only. You can look into my tips and tricks video why, or just turn it off in general. Another thing that's disappointing to me has been the camera. You can see this little guy here. The quality of the Piranha Plant camera has been embarrassing. The quality of the original camera has also been quite bad, to be honest. Not that you need much quality. I think it works in Gamechat. I think it works in Mario Party. My only problem being I do have friends with a Switch 2, but I think I use the camera more to demonstrate what it can do for YouTube, but for some reason we just don't use Gamechat. Whether it's the age that we are in, because we're all around 25 to 30 years old, so maybe we all have other things to do and don't want to be bothered when we finally sit down to play a game. But I've just noticed that if I want to make a call with someone, they either need to have a Switch 2 or we just grab Discord anyway. That being said, I think Gamechat does work. It's a fun experience and I wished we would use it more. But we just don't. As you can see, I also have the Gamecube controller there. I've not been playing much Gamecube, but that's because the games that are on there now, I already played a lot. Mario Smash Football or Mario Strikers in the US has been a lot of fun, but I only played it briefly. I am waiting for Double Dash. Nintendo, add Double Dash. I need Double Dash. I miss Double Dash. But overall I'm quite happy with the build quality. And in general, the Pro Controller as well, I have it here. The Pro Controller as well. The experience with this thing has been so nice. The feeling in the hands. I think this is one of the best controllers ever. And I'm not exaggerating. This is not new shiny thing biased. I really do think it just fits so nicely in the hands. And that's the same with the console itself. I feel like the ergonomics, they did it so well. What else can I discuss? Ah yeah, something else which I did not expect to use as much as I did, but I actually missed this feature when I play handheld, and that's the GL and GR buttons. And I'm not going to explain again what they are or how they work, because I already did that in a previous video. But GL and GR you can set any button to, and usually I do this for pushing in the sticks for running in games, and I really like that it's game specific. I also have the grip, the Joy-Con grip that can do this. And I actually miss this feature when I don't have it. When I play handheld, I want to push the buttons there, just like on the Steam Deck, because I use this feature on the Steam Deck. Then, what have I been playing on this thing? Of course, first I started with Mario Kart. I have been a little bit disappointed with Mario Kart World. I love Mario Kart 8. I played it to death on the Switch 1. I played it to death on the Wii U. I did tournaments. I love the game. I think it's perfect, except for the DLC. The last DLC was a bit lazy. But later the developers of Mario Kart revealed that the only reason this last DLC, the Booster Course Pass, existed was because they tried to get Mario Kart World running on the Switch 1 and it did not work out, so they needed more time. So they gave us the DLC for the Switch. I think it was better than nothing. Is the end result worth it? I think yes. I think it does have problems. It desperately needs a classic Grand Prix mode. And sometimes the world feels a bit empty. The roads are very wide and it just feels a bit flat. And I actually saw this contrast when I played Donkey Kong Bananza. Right before I played Bananza, I also replayed Mario Odyssey with the updated graphics. Because Mario Odyssey is one of those games that got an update for the Switch 2 to boost performance. And Bananza I really enjoyed. I think it's an amazing game. It was not what I expected. I expected more platforming and this was more destruction based. But I tried to not spoil myself by watching too much of the trailer. So maybe I did that to myself and had the wrong expectations. But overall it was super fun. I won't spoil the ending. But it's amazing. Once you go back to Mario Kart World after playing Bananza, I feel like you see the difference in fidelity. And of course it's a very different game. Bananza is very scoped in terms of areas, and Mario Kart World is one open world with 24 racers, with online multiplayer, local multiplayer, etc. And a more stable frame rate, because Bananza sometimes can drop. But that's the thing, Bananza has destruction, it has all of this fidelity, and it still runs 60 FPS most of the time. So I feel like Mario Kart World could have done more here and there, but that's not the main problem I have with the game. It's mostly that I miss the 3-lap tracks. and that the open world doesn't allow them to give it more of a feeling, more distinct feelings of the tracks. If you're in Electrodrome, you are in this place, and it's this atmosphere, and it's enclosed, and that's what I miss. I would have expected in Crown City to have Coconut Mall, or to have Sunshine Airport somewhere on the coast. Of course, I think that won't work because it was on an island near the Mario Sunshine game, not sure. But if you look at Choco Mountain, for example, they completely butchered that track, and there are more, especially the retro tracks, that are not that impressive. So I really hope they update the game. I really hope they add more. It sounds like I don't enjoy Mario Kart World, because I do. Like I think I already played 50 hours. Could have been more, but I started a YouTube channel, so hey. But those are the two highlights, Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza. Besides that, I have been playing a lot of older games. I do have to mention first that I played Cyberpunk a bit, but I already played it for 100 hours on the Switch, on the Steam Deck, not on the Switch 1. I've already played Cyberpunk for 100 hours on the Steam Deck, so I just wanted to see what it looked like. And I couldn't resist getting a physical copy because I don't have it. And with the cross save, I could just continue with my save, even though there wasn't much to do anymore. And Mario Party Jamboree has been actually also quite disappointing, because they separated the Jamboree TV mode from the original game. They didn't update it like in Zelda. They made it so that you get the original game. It even works on the Switch 1, and you just play the original game with Mario Party Jamboree TV slapped onto it. It was a lot of fun with the camera though, I have to admit. That being said, besides that, I've been playing Mario Odyssey and some older games. I have a big backlog I want to get through. I played some No Man's Sky to see what it looked like. I actually downloaded GTA San Andreas. I played Hogwarts Legacy, of course. I did a little trick where you get the Hogwarts Legacy game on Switch 2 for 10 bucks. And I played Echoes of Wisdom. I'm still playing Echoes of Wisdom, and it just looks super nice. Basically, if a game has unlocked frame rate and dynamic resolution, it will probably look really good. If a game has a locked resolution and a locked frame rate, sometimes you get a blurry mess, like with Persona 5, where I would prefer to play it on the original Switch. So this thing will probably still be used for a while. Overall, I'm super happy with this thing. It was exactly what I wanted from the device. I wanted more power. That was my main concern, because the reason I have a Steam Deck and a PlayStation Portal is the lack of power in the Switch. It was just getting to a point where it started to annoy me. And I'm not a graphics snob or anything. I just needed that little polish that they could not reach anymore on the Switch 1. So it delivers on that front. It gave us some new features. I really like mouse mode. I have mostly used it in Welcome Tour. Welcome Tour has been a lot of fun. I did not mention that before, but it's been a lot of fun. It's worth the 10 bucks in my opinion, but they should have included it with the Switch. The launch games, I'm complaining a lot, but they are amazing. Let's be honest here. We got a Mario Kart and the first Donkey Kong 3D platformer in 20 years. I don't know when Donkey Kong 64 came out. Maybe even more. 30 years. But that's my point. We have these amazing games here, and the Switch 1 has an amazing library. So the bar was really high. Mario Kart 8 was perfection in my opinion. How do you follow up perfection? What they did is a different approach, and I think it worked. Donkey Kong Bonanza, amazing game. I think they should have launched with that. In the end, I'm super happy with my purchase. I purchased a lot. I wish I had more time to play, because I have a full-time job and I'm now also doing YouTube on the side. So yeah, I played a little bit less than I was anticipating. But I'm super happy with my purchase. I'm looking forward to new stuff coming up. I'm definitely gonna play Metroid Prime 4. And I'm hoping that we get an Assassin's Creed game on the Switch too. Maybe not many people are waiting for this, but I'm a big Assassin's Creed fan. I'm playing through all the Assassin's Creed games. You will see some content about that really soon as well. I won't dedicate my channel to it, but I at least want to document that journey. So, what are your experiences with the Switch 2? Have you been enjoying it? Did it break already? How's the battery life? My battery life is okay, but how's the battery life? Do you like the display? Do you like the new games Mario Kart and Donkey Kong? Let me know in the comments below. A like and a subscribe would help me a lot. Hit that notification and bell icon. I think that's how that works, and become a controller fan today.